If you shoot Nikon or Canon DSLRs, especially if you're a bit of a road warrior, I'll show you an affordable little gadget that'll be your solution for several things photographers need. Hi, I'm Larry Becker. This unassuming little black box is the iUSBportCAMERA2 by HyperDrive, a Sanho brand. It has a small LCD screen on the front, a few ports, and a power button. It's a wireless remote control for your camera, whether or not you have built-in Wi-Fi. It's a connector for offloading images from memory cards to a portable hard drive without a computer. And it's even a cell phone charger. First up, let's look at the Wi-Fi capabilities. I tested the iUSBportCAMERA2 on my Canon 6D. While the 6D has built-in Wi-Fi and there's a free app for remote controlling it and adjusting settings, the iUSBportCAMERA2 goes beyond the capabilities of the native Canon setup. For instance, when you start to enable the built-in Wi-Fi on the 6D, you get a message. It's a warning that says video recording will be disabled. By contrast, the iUSBportCAMERA2 is able to control video recording remotely. Of course, what's possible when you combine the iUSBportCAMERA2 with your camera will depend on the individual camera model itself. My experience is that with regard to built-in Wi-Fi and free smartphone apps, the Canon options offer more features and controls than Nikon. And in any case, this adds even more controls. I tested the iOS version of the iUSBcam app, and it was easy enough to download. The user manual said that I needed to power up the device, then use the iOS settings to have my iPad connect to the device's wireless network. That was very straightforward. However, when I launched the app, I was immediately greeted with a message that the iUSBportCAMERA2 needed to be updated before I could use it. I'm guessing that the iOS app has the latest version of the firmware, and it automatically upgrades units as needed. I just followed the on-screen prompts, and the update was automatic and very easy. My only word of warning here is don't try to set up and use your iUSBportCAMERA2 right out of the box without first charging it all the way. There's even an intimidating warning that says the device might need to be sent in for repairs if you power off during that update process. After updating, which only took 2 or 3 minutes, the unit was ready to go. I powered it back up, signed back onto its network, mounted it on my camera, and made sure it was connected from the USB port on the iUSBportCAMERA2 device to the mini USB port of my Canon 6D, and it started working. The app on my iPad was intuitive and as responsive as any remote Wi-Fi control I've used. I touched in the middle of my image where I wanted to focus, and autofocus locked in. So it's like a touch focus. Then I pressed the shutter button and grabbed some shots. Thumbnails automatically showed up, and the remote shooting experience and variety of controls was great. I should point out that you'll want to turn on auto download if you want to see better resolution files on your smart device, because until I did that, my review images all looked kind of fuzzy. So, the iUSBportCAMERA2 adds a little or a lot of Wi-Fi remote control functionality to your camera, depending on which model you have. The added functions and app interface will be fine for most users, though there are some other aftermarket options that add even more capabilities. The only downside to this whole experience is that the user manual is really kind of lacking. After the update, when I relaunched the iOS app, it had 2 icons, but not much explanation. One was an icon of a camera, and the other was an icon of a smart device in front of a camera. Now, when I touched either one, I couldn't get it to connect to the device for camera control. After several attempts and error messages, I guessed that I needed to enter the network address ID from the iUSBportCAMERA2 unit into the top line of the app. Once I did that, though, I got a different icon. I tried touching that, but it still didn't work, so I quit the app and then relaunched it. And then I touched the original camera icon, and it gave me the remote control interface. Maybe I just fumbled with it long enough to make things work, but the manual wasn't really helpful in doing that. One last thing about this device that's especially nice, but I didn't see it mentioned on the website, is that it comes with this hot shoe mount clip. It was great to have this mounted on top of the camera. Then again, if you're using a speed light, you can just use touch fasteners to keep the unit in place. The next function I tested was the 2 USB ports to transfer files from an SD memory card to a FAT32 formatted USB hard drive without a computer. I just plugged my SD card reader into the first port, plugged the USB hard drive into the other port, and the LCD panel asked me if I wanted to copy the card to the new drive. Just press the power button once briefly, and the copy happens. I could even see the progress during the copy by looking at the LCD. Then, the copy was done. The manual says it'll power off automatically. Instead, my experience was that the LCD just said that the copy was complete. Then, when I plugged in the drive to check that the files were copied, it didn't just copy the pictures. It had created a folder that looked like the SD card's entire contents, complete with nested folders and everything the camera puts onto a memory card. Finally, both of the USB ports can charge a cell phone or other low-powered device. While the 3300 mAh battery won't compete with most dedicated portable battery-powered USB chargers, it's nice if you happen to need it. One other note about power, the manual says you'll need a more powerful 10-watt USB charger to power it up, and it doesn't come with one. I happen to have one from a third-generation iPad that I used. But if you just have regular powered USB sockets, you'll need to pick one up. So this cool little black box, the iUSBportCAMERA2 by HyperDrive, is a great multi-featured tool that does Wi-Fi remote control, helps copy files from memory cards to hard drives without a computer, and it even serves as an emergency USB charger. With this versatility, it's a nice gadget to drop into your camera bag before you hit the road. For B&H and Kelby One, I'm Larry Becker. Thanks for watching.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.
Scott Kelby here, and welcome to this quick tour of our online training. We have hundreds of online classes for you, covering everything from lighting to landscape photography. From portrait photography to sports, we have classes on weddings, automotive photography, shooting, food, fashion, travel, you name it. The most incredible part of this is the price. You get all of this for just $199 a year, or you can pay monthly for just $24.95. 24-hour a day, 7-day a week access from anywhere in the world. I invite you to join with us today and start learning right now.